This is going to be your guide to fishing in the Palworld Terraria update. So the crazy thing is, catching the pal matters the least, unless you care about it. Like if you just want to go, catch a ton of pals, have some fun, more power to you. But the reason why you want to fish is for the crazy amount of rewards you can get from it. Now, to unlock fishing, you just need to get level 15 with the beginner fishing set. This also comes with a bait recipe. After that, the bait recipe and fishing rod recipes are going to be separate. And the reason why you want to craft higher tier fishing rods is for the fishing spots. So this is a beginner fishing spot, but once you make it into the higher levels and higher islands in the game, it's going to say like master or advanced or stuff like that. And the different baits can be made in the workbenches and assembly lines. So here we just have a simple bait required for fishing. So to even start fishing, you're going to need pal fluids, red berries, and flour. Then we can also upgrade it into tomatoes. And then we have the onion and carrot one for the deluxe bait. So you're not always going to be just using alluring bait because cavern mushrooms kind of annoying to get. Also 10 high quality pal oil. So it's mostly going to be about like, okay, make sure you have an onion and a carrot farm going, get a lot of flour, and then you can make the deluxe baits. If you don't want to use high quality pal oil, pal fluid, tomato, there we go, stock up on the bait. And then we have the powerful fishing magnet. So it costs hexalite, and that's for salvage, which is also covered in this video, but I want to finish up with fishing first. Now you want to upgrade your fishing rods as you go into higher level areas and higher level fishing spots that the beginner rod is going to feel really bad into advanced and master. There we go. It's like waiting for him to bite. So you have like a smaller range and it's also harder to control. I guess you can get away with it. There's no point to not upgrade it, but you can get away with it in some higher level areas. And that's like the interesting thing about fishing. Like that's a level 58 pal caught on a beginner fishing rod. And if you surf up and you don't draw the aggro of other pals, you can actually get into some of the higher level areas and catch pals. Now, it will scale to your level, and I don't know if there's any kind of like weird restriction where, oh, you have to be character level 40 to use an advanced fishing spot or something, because I just came into this on my max level save. But maybe you can be the humble, low-level fisher that just kind of goes out to the higher level places, stays safe, and then catches all that the world's oceans have to offer. Which brings us to Whalelasca, that at level 35 you unlock the Whalelasca saddle, and if you really want to get into fishing, you want this. While fighting together, fishing minigames begin with the capture gauge more filled. Additionally, the capture gauge increases more rapidly when the bars are overlapping. So you actually just catch faster and it's easier to fish, and there's a lower chance that you lose it because you start off in a better position. So this is really good for fishing. Gloopy is also a very good pal to have for fishing if you don't have the Whalelasca while fighting together. So you just need to summon it out and then you can do some fishing. The capture gauge decreases more slowly, so it makes fishing easier. And the pals at the shipwreck are fairly low level, so hit level 15, and if you really want to immediately get into fishing, oh, Starter Island, Isle of Decayed Treasures, Gloopy, easy. Now, Gangler is a useful pal, mostly for its handiwork, and you can find these just without fishing at level 30. Wanted to mention them because they are new fish pals. And here's where you can catch Gelroy as well, so once you hit these levels, then you head on over to Phantom Isle, and you can get some really, really useful pals. Now, the fishing shadows are mostly representative of the different pals that can appear in the place, and they kind of resemble the pal you're trying to catch. So that wasn't a Dumud, that was a Munchill in this fishing shadow. There's so many different locations across the world with so many different spawn tables and stuff. I don't really care too much about the shadows unless you're targeting a specific pal. Then you fish that area, you know which shadow lines up with the pal, and then you can target that. Now, when fishing, you might notice some of these spots look different. So this one has like purple sparklies around it. That means it's an alpha pal. Green sparkling means it's going to have a very rare passive. And if you go into like a big glowing purple spot, that's going to be a lunker. And that's also going to have its own benefits, so we can check those out. So I fished this turticle out of a green spot and had the Mastery of Fasting, so that's how you can get a rainbow passive, and it had a couple of other rare passives as well, which was really nice. Now, Lunker is amazing, and you can use the purple fishing spot to guarantee a good passive, because if you're fishing, it's most likely going to be a water or an ice pal, so 20% water damage, 20% ice damage, and 20% increase to defense. You have a legendary fished up pal effectively from this, and you can also get some other passives on it potentially. And then there's fishing ponds you can place in your base and have pals automatically fish for you. So the regular fishing pond is going to have small and medium size fish, and then this one can go up to large. So let's see what that looks like, where, hey, small fish shadow, you can just automatically AFK these pals. We also have the medium one, and then large. So, cool. You can get Welaska Ignis like that if you want to, or you can also get Gangler, which is a 4 watering small pal, and then we also have 3 kindling. So Gangler, really, really good pal to have around the base, but I guess at level 55, you'll have already caught one by then, and you get the items from fishing. So like I said in the beginning of the video, the most important thing are the resources that you get, because it's going to be like the super end-game stuff with Coralum. And the large fishing shadow pulls from the Sakurajima and the Faybreak fishing table, so we can just passively get a couple of giant pal souls and large pal souls and make a lot of money and get a lot of Coralum and just other things. We have growth acceleration bell, and you can even get like the higher tier ones. Same thing for the whistles, that you find these through fishing, and they're accessories that can help out with fighting with pals. Yeah, fishing is cool and all, but the good stuff is from salvaging, especially the powerful salvaging. So we just got Coralum, Training Manual XL, and a giant pal soul for the cost of 1/10 of a hexalite. Problem, this is actually level 61, so it starts getting pretty endgame, and you also have to get the hexalite, which means chromium and endgame progression. But this is like the big farming at the end, because you're going to need a lot of Coralum to make all the stuff, just like how you needed a lot of plasteel, and it took forever to get the oil. Now the game tells you what to do. You have to have a fishing rod, you have to be on a swimming pal, there's going to be normal salvage in the lower areas of the game, but in the Astral Mountains, Sakurajima, and Faybreak, that's where you can find the ones for the powerful fishing magnet. That's where you get the really, really good stuff. And you don't want to do both salvaging and fishing at the same time. You want to do either or. If you're doing salvaging, well then you get a fast swimming pal, and you just fish up all of the salvages really quick. If you're going to be doing fishing, well then that's when you can have pals that augment your fishing while riding them. Also, it's going to change your team composition, because Gelroy is busted. While in team, increases the items obtained from salvage, so it's going to be 18% at rank 1, but it stacks. So you just put as many Gelroy as you can. If you have multiple from fishing, you can condense them, and then you just want a full team of Gelroy while doing any kind of salvage, and you get more resources. Now, much like the item drops from the pals, like, oh, you get more dark drops when fighting with this pal, it doesn't increase rarity, but it increases quantity, which is super important because Coralum farming is the game. And then Jelliet is going to be the same thing, so if you're fishing, make sure you have a full team of Jelliet. Also, the salvage and fishing spots are going to be different from each other. That if you're out in like the middle of the ocean going, yo, where are all the fish? Well, there's actually like no fishing spawners out here. It's just going to be the salvage, and then close to shores where you're going to find more fishing spots than the salvage. Yep, this is your end game. Just get a fast swimming pal, get a Gelroy, GG easy. Now, I keep talking about the crazy drops you get from salvaging and fishing, so let's check them out. Let's see what's going on with these loot tables, and you can get technique manuals. Now, they're pretty rare, but you can get technique manuals. Also, the pal reverser. So when I first saw this, I'm like, what's the point of changing your pal's gender? Wait a second, breeding, because if you hatch a male and you need a female or something, or you have like one pal for a species on a breeding chain, yeah, you can just make that change real quick. You also get dog coins fairly commonly. Now it's going to be the high rank salvage, so it does cost hexalite. End up with ultimate spheres, gold keys, all kinds of stuff. Schematics. What if you fish up a legendary schematic or some uncommons and rares, and you can use that in the drafting table. And since you're going to be fishing up a lot of Coralum, there's a chance you just get something crazy from that. But also, the manuals, the treasure maps, everything adds up over time. So there's some good stuff that makes it worth your while. Now, the regular salvage areas that don't take the magnets don't really have as crazy things, but you can get rubies, you get money, recovery meds without crafting them. That's actually really helpful. Rare chance for a dog coin. And then, if you get Coralum, don't throw it away. Like, if you're fishing, you're like, oh, this Coralum's getting in my inventory. I can't use it. I'm just going to throw it away. No, do not do that. You're going to want the hundreds of Coralum that add up. Then you can also get a couple of other little things, nice little bit of money, some training manuals, technology manuals. All these things add up, so it's worth doing a little bit of salvage in the early game. And then we can see how to get Coralum, because I cannot stress enough, that is the end game. So when we see like the treasure fishing, it's not like there's a treasure chest or treasure fishing spot. The treasure is the item reward you get alongside catching the pal. So with this, like, oh yeah, you're just doing fishing in places. You can also do fishing in the Astral Mountains, and then that can give you a little bit of extra Coralum. Fabric dungeon fishing, that's going to have a lot of Coralum inside of it. There's also not going to be a lot of opportunities to catch fish in there. So do a lot of fishing, save your Coralum, you'll thank me later. And then we can see the Fabric fishing table that also just has kind of the same things. Like, oh, we can just get armor schematics, like a 1% chance to get uncommon Hexalite. That's kind of interesting. And then maybe you get a manual. You can also get some diamonds, Coralum, high quality recovery meds, giant pal soul. So this is what I was talking about when I said it pulls the large fishing spot in your base, pulls from the Sakurajima and the Fabric fishing table. I guess it also pulls from the snow one as well. And you can just kind of get a little bit of Coralum, some other crazy stuff. Growth Acceleration Bell is going to give you more experience for your pals when in the accessory slot. So that's worth doing. But then, fishing in the dungeon on Fabric is something you really want to do, because you can get skill fruits, you can get a little bit of extra loot, defense pendants, attack pendants. So if you're at this point in the game, you probably have +2, but then a lot of Coralum. So always have a fishing rod on you, always have some bait. It's worth fishing in the dungeons. Then we can see Sakurajima, very low chance at getting some of the technique manuals, but it's possible. Some other interesting schematic stuff, so fishing up some pals could be worth it. And then here's the breeding table for Walaska if you don't have one by level 35. Alpha Dran, Quivern, doable. Serpent Terra, Elizabeth, probably the easiest. You can do that by like level 30 something when you get access to the breeding. So Incineram, Mamorist, Iceland, Relaxaurus. So you should just have like a lot of these pals for the general breeding, and easy to end up with a Walaska. Now, the loot for the beginner fishing spots in the early game isn't that crazy. Like, it's kind of adds up, and it's kind of nice. Oh, I got a Gigasphere, and I caught a couple of pals. That's cool. But mostly for the way that Palworld works, if you want to play it optimally, you just want to catch every pal you see. You just want to, like, rush to, like, level 30, level 40. So having a legendary heat-resistant pelt armor schematic isn't going to mean much. And if you get like the super crazy, ridiculous odds, well, it's going to get outscaled almost immediately when you get into like refined metal and stuff. Now, dungeon fishing is a little different because we can get the pendants inside of it. So it's like a mini roll on the loot chest at the end of the dungeon, which is pretty nice. You're never seeing one of the technique manuals from this. Those odds are way too low. But a nice skill fruit, a little bit of extra money, 100% ruby for fishing in the dungeon. That can be very helpful. Then you get like the pendant you're looking for. So that's something to consider. Like, dungeon fishing's good. You want to scale fast, and then like all the end game fishing and salvage is incredible. So yeah, after fishing for a bit, we can see I just have stuff. I've got some schematics. I guess that was food that just decayed. It's like, where'd my item go? We get accessories, we get a lot of experience manuals, which are pretty good. Like, if you catch a fresh pal at level 50 and needs to catch up to level 65, hold on to the training manuals. These are also really nice. Then you just run around and get stuff, and maybe you get super lucky, or again, be uncommon, rare, blueprints, those add up. Drafting table is really good, and we just need to be getting Coralum for the rest of our lives now. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.